Our first guest is the founder and president of The Solution to Hunger. The organization's mission is to end hunger in America by utilizing excess food from businesses for those in need. And joining us now from Queens, New York, is Crystal Wolfe. Crystal, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's such an important topic to discuss. And this is something you established in 2018. Tell our viewers a little bit about you and how this came about.
Well, it was definitely a vision that came from God, and it's definitely been a journey. So there's about 150 billion pounds of food that goes to waste every year in this country. There's enough that nobody needs to be hungry. So God kind of gave me the vision of like the practical aspect of how this could be done. But I had to have help. I designed the website, but I had to have help to get the technical aspect completed, which I met a Catholic man named Rob English who helped me to complete the vision. So what it is any business in America, grocery stores, restaurants, catering companies can register through the website, and that's www.thesolutiontohunger.org. So they register, and then they can list, there's 5 things they can give: food, clothing, socks, toiletries, and toys. And then the food pantries, soup kitchens, homeless shelters can register. They get a notification by email when these food or goods become available. They can log in, claim the items to pick it up. So I already have 350 partners, mainly in New York and in New York City, but we've expanded into over 20 counties of New York and several other states. So literally, this could solve hunger by everybody just plugging into the network and getting that food to those in need.
I mean, it's just such an incredible idea, and the fact now that you're doing it and you've spanned so wide across America, especially in New York City. I'm sure for you, this was very boots on the ground in the beginning. What was the reality for you when, say, maybe you were just dealing with 1 or 2 businesses that were giving food, but then I'm sure you still personally go out in the streets or to these food pantries and stuff. Tell our viewers just really homelessness, food insecurity, what is the reality for people out there?
Oh, the reality is there's never been so much food insecurity and homelessness as there is today. It's worse than in the days of the Great Depression. And this transition was only recently, so I've been making hundreds of deliveries a year. And my organization has been able to distribute over 3 million meals. And I also do tons of drives for toiletries, non-perishable food items, socks, and I've raised over 300,000 of these items because the need is everywhere. Every single county in America has poverty. So I'm definitely boots on the ground, getting these items to my partners, and then I coordinate it in other states. Sometimes I travel to other states and other counties of New York on a weekly basis, because I also have an educational component, and I wrote a book on homelessness, which has a lot more facts, stories of homelessness, and then also solutions, which is where the hope lies. So this is to educate the community, to advocate for solutions, and to help the homeless themselves.
It's crazy because, me as an individual, I can go and, grab some, non-perishable items, donate it and everything. But this is actually, we're talking about supermarkets, restaurants, those kind of businesses where they were literally throwing this food out, right? And
Yes.
now it's
Yes.
going into the hands of people in need.
Yes, and it's actually a tax write-off for businesses to give. And there's multiple laws in New York State now requiring businesses to give. There's 2 for schools, and there's 1 for restaurants and other businesses. So it's actually against the law now not to give because the politicians are really trying to push this. So I'm hoping that I can work with more and more people in Long Island and anywhere in America, they don't even need to talk to me. All they have to do is get on the website, register, and then it starts building.
Just amazing. I mean, we showed a little bit, you talked about your book, Our Invisible Neighbor. You've written 9 books. That book in particular, it came out in 2017 before you even started this organization. So this has kind of been an incredible journey for you, right? Talk about that, how your faith is incorporated in that, and also what's next? What's next and what's your hope?
Okay, well, I actually started this in January 2017, but I didn't get the 501c3 status until 2018. So I was a reporter in I worked with a lot of different, and I still do work with magazines, sorry, and newspapers all over New York. So that kind of educated me on it. And also 14% of all homelessness in America is in New York City, although 56% is in rural areas. So it affects cities and it also affects, you know, cities. So I started this by making up brown bags of food, and I put like something in writing to give them hope, like a poem I would share or a quote. And so I would make up the bags of food. I'd have like an apple, a sandwich, a snack bar, things like that. And I would get on the subways and the streets all over Manhattan, Queens, etc., and distribute these bags of food. And it was really heartbreaking, heartwarming. Some of these people were, digging from the trash for food. So that's how this really began, because it always broke my heart to see homeless anywhere, particularly on the subways, because it's just so like rock bottom. And I feel like homelessness is the rock bottom issue because of problems that have been ignored in this country for decades. So my hope is to work on the solutions for homelessness, and I have worked with politicians on legislation. And I truly do want this nonprofit to become the leading hunger nonprofit in America, providing billions of meals a year. And then when I pass away, I want this to continue to grow. So I want this to grow every single year all across America, to be a free program that anybody can plug into in order to get that food to people in need in every way possible.
Wow, you're just doing amazing work. Everyone can go to the solutiontohunger.org to learn more and to connect. Crystal, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.